Konami have done it. They have freed my boy Denglong. And in today's video, we are going to have a look at how Dinosaur can abuse Denglong to build good combo boards. Dinosaur has been a deck that has been quite strong since its release as a structure deck in 2017, 2018, can't remember the exact year. But it's kind of fallen off in recent formats because there's been such an elevation in the power of other decks around us. Think Tyrannosaur, think Kashtira. But I think with Denglong back in the format, Dinosaur can make a triumphant return, especially when we consider there has been some new support being released. Well, hasn't been released yet. I think it's released tomorrow as of recording, which is quite fun. So in this video, I'm going to go through this Dinosaur list, and then we're going to go through 5 different combos we can use using Denglong. And yeah, we'll see what we can do with the cards. So this list is a pretty standard Dinosaur list. I'm not playing a lot of the new cards, but I'm playing some of them. So we're playing 3 Solid Oviraptor, 1 Miscellaneousaurus, bring it back to 3, you cowards, 3 Baby Cerosaurus, 1 Petite Pteranodon, 2, I'm going to try it, Animadurud Archosaur, nope, not even remotely correct, but this guy, the Julie one. 2 Scrap Raptor, 2 Ultimate Godetto Tyranno, 1 Jirac Aeolo, 1 Giant Rex, 1 Chiwin Light of the Zing, and 1 BN Earth of the Zing, 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Lost World, 3 Pot of Prosperity, 2 Ground Zeno. This is a new card, so I'll read what this card does. It allows you to add 1 Dinosaur Tuna or 1 Dinosaur normal monster from your deck to your hands, then destroy 1 card in your hands. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon 1 Dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. We won't be using that second effect in today's video, but I'm sure there are plenty of ways of abusing it with this guy, I'm sure. 2 Double Evolution Pill, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Called by the Grave, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Heck Veiler, and 1 copy of 9 Pillars of the Zing. So if you haven't played Dinosaur before, essentially the idea of the deck is to use Sonic Oviraptor and his friends to destroy the babies, to summon more of his friends, and build a board. The only cards I should probably go over in this list, other than the ones I already have, are probably Chiwen and Bien. These are both Zing monsters, and we are going to be able to get these in Engine, and they essentially both have the same effect, where if they are destroyed by battle or card effects, when you can, special summon 1 Zing monster from your deck, except for another copy of himself. If a Zing is destroyed, Chiwen can special summon himself from the graveyards, and Bien has a quick synchro effect during your opponent's main or battle phase. I think Chiwen might have that effect as well. Nope, just BN, but most Zings have that effect. Going to go into the extra deck now. So we're playing 1 Herald of the Arclight, 1 Denglong. I'll read what this card does, because there may be new players who are not too sure. It is a generic level 5 Tuna Synchro. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Zing card from your deck to your hands. Once per turn, you can send 1 Worm-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. This card level becomes that sent monsters. If this face-up card leaves the field, you can special summon 1 Zing monster from your deck. So this guy adds 1, it burials 1, and it special summons 1 from the deck. You can see why this card was on the list for quite some time. The card we're going to be adding with Denglong, 9 times out of 10, is going to be 9 Pillars of the Zing, which is a generic counter Solemn Judgment effect. When a spell trap card or monster effect is activated and you control a Zing card, negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card into the deck, then destroy 1 other Zing card you control. So you can use 9 Pillars to negate something and then pop a Zing card. The Zing card floats into some form of advantage and you keep going off from there. Rest of the extra deck, we're playing a Coral Dragon. Why? Because sometimes your hand's crap and you need to be able to get to a Synchro 10, and 6s and 4s go quite well. 1 Scythe Flame Lord Omega, just a generic 8. 1 Borrelord Savage Dragon. We're very rarely going to go into this because the links we're going into are very limited. 1 Chaofeng, Phantom of the Zing. I really like this card. I really liked it when I was playing in Sword Soul, so I want to bring it over to this deck. It is Zing, so it has very much synergy in this sort of Dinosaur Zing sort of deck. And essentially what this card does is, while the Synchro Summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters with the same original attribute as the Zing monsters used for the Synchro Summon of this card. When this Synchro Summoned card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Tuna from your deck to your hand. So this can flex into either a piece of extension for your next turn, or it can flex into a hand trap like Ash Blossom or Effect Veiler when it's destroyed, and 9 Pillars the Zing destroyed. So you can use Chaofeng, lock them out of some attribute, then 9 Pillars, destroy your Chaofeng, and then get a hand trap as well as being able to negate something with the 9 Pillars, which is quite cool. Playing 1 Bestial Dissipator and 1 Baron de Fleur as 10s we can get into with weird hands. We do have some lights and darks that we can special summon in this deck. Like, you could hypothetically use Double Evolution Pill to banish the Denglong, and then on turn 3 you could Bestial Dissipator back the Denglong, and then when it leaves the field get another search of a Zing card or something. There's plenty of weird stuff you do. Do the same thing with Oviraptor. We are playing 1 Evil Zal Lagia. This card is just Judgment, 1 Dweller, 1 Baguska, and 1 Zeus. And we are playing 1 Link Rebo, 1 Secure Gardener, and 1 Appaloosa. Never going to go into this Appaloosa, but the Link Rebo and the Secure Gardener are here for the Archosaur. Sometimes you just need to be able to get to a non-dinosaur monster in graveyard when you've searched for your Double Evolution Pill and really weird hands, and these 2 cards allow you to do that. So, without further ado, I guess I should talk about this side deck, shouldn't I? So, Dogoron, Pankratops, these are cards you could definitely play. I'm not playing them in this list because I think that these going second cards are probably just better, especially since we can search them off Chifeng. Megala Smasher and these cards like to use normal monsters. I couldn't be asked to play around with those right now. Maybe I will at some other point. Most of these extra deck cards look quite crap. I mean, the XZ's alright and the Fusion's okay, I guess. But this guy ain't great, this guy ain't great, and I don't like playing normals. Anyway, let's get into the combo, shall we? Because we've got 5 of them to show you. So this first combo is going to be Oviraptor and just nothing else. It's a 1-card combo. So we're going to start by normal summoning the Sword Eating Oviraptor, and we're going to use the effect to add a copy of Miscellaneousaurus from our deck to our hand. From there, we're going to use Misk's effect in hand to send himself to the graveyard, and then, microphone, we are going to banish the Misk to special summon a copy of Drak Aeolo from the deck, since it's level 1. And from here, we can go into a Denglong, search for a copy of 9 Pillars of the Zing. Sorry if my mouse clicking was really loud. And then we can use Denglong to send Chiwin to the graveyard and set our copy of 9 Pillars. This looks like a really weak board, but it's a little bit stronger than it looks. So in our opponent's turn, when they activate a card we want to negate, we can use 9 Pillars to destroy our Denglong and negate their cards. This is going to trigger both the Chiwin and the Denglong in our graveyard, allowing us to special summon back the Chiwin, and then Denglong can special summon back this copy of Bien. From here, we can use Bien's effect to quick synchro on our opponent's turn with these cards and go into a copy of Herald of the Arclight. This Chiwin should be banished. I'm sure I'll fix it in a second. And also, this Herald of the Arclight cannot be destroyed by battle because it was made with Bien. A synchro monster that uses card as synchro material cannot be destroyed by battle. So we have a really weak monster, but it can't be punched over. And it's not only just an Omni-Negate, it's also just sort of macro sometimes, which is pretty strong against a lot of different decks. Like, your opponent's not using Circular against Herald of the Arclight, which is kind of cool, I guess. The second combo is going to be a little bit more involved. This is Soul Link Oviraptor plus Baby Ceresaurus. And it's going to be Oviraptor and a copy of Misk, as we will in most of these combos. Use the Misk to send itself to the graveyard, and then use the effect to special summon a copy of Archosaur from the deck this time. Archosaur can trigger to destroy the Baby Ceresaurus in hand and add a copy of Double Evolution Pill, which will of course trigger our Baby Ceresaurus to special summon a dinosaur monster from the deck. We're going to choose Baby Ceresaurus, so our Soul Eating Oviraptor can destroy that baby to bring back this baby, and then this baby is going to trigger to special summon a Scrap Raptor. And you guessed it, this Scrap Raptor is going to pop this baby, and that baby is then going to trigger to special summon a copy of Giant Rex. I will quickly note here that I'm not playing Scrap Chimera or Scrap Wyvern in this build. Essentially, in most combos, the only reason I was doing it was to get to Savage Dragon, and I don't think Savage Dragon is that great of a card right now. And also, it's just an extra garnet you could open up when you're playing the Zing cards. Is probably not the best idea. So I've just opted to play the Scrap Raptor just to pop the baby, rather than doing the Scrap Raptor pop itself, add Chimera, special summon back, go into Wyvern, then pop the baby. Because it's essentially the same amount of material on boards, you just don't have the link material, which I think is kind of irrelevant most of the time. Anyway, continuing on, so we special summon this copy of Giant Rex, and we can now use the Scrap Raptor and the Archosaur to go into a copy of Denglong, since Scrap Raptor is a level 4 tuner, and Archosaur is a level 1 non-tuner. This is of course going to trigger our Denglong to search for a copy of 9 Pillars of the Zing. And then we can synchro off our Giant Rex and our Denglong for a copy of Chifeng, which means our opponent cannot activate the effects of light monsters from this point, which does turn off Nib, but I feel like we would have been nibbed a little bit earlier, so it's not all that relevant. We can't get Veiled, I guess. From here, we can trigger the Denglong effect to special summon a Zing monster from the deck, and we are going to special summon a copy of Chiwen. We're then going to activate Double Evolution Pill, banishing the Giant Rex and the Denglong to special summon a copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which will of course trigger our Giant Rex to special summon himself since he was banished. From here, we have 2 level 4 dinosaurs on board, so let's just slap them into a Lagia. So this end board, I think I'm going to write it in the chat in a second. We have Chaofeng, which is stopping lights, Chiwen, which can float into something else when it's destroyed, Lagia, which is essentially a judgment negate, you know, UCT, which is essentially a Eclipse by popping a card on our field, and we have 9 Pillars, which is an Omni negate, but it goes a little bit further. So on our opponent's turn, we could flip over this 9 Pillars and pop this Chiwen, which would trigger the Chiwen to special summon a copy of Bian from our deck. From here, we could use the Lagia effect if we seemed relevant. We could use the UCT to pop the Chaofeng to book up Eclipse our opponent's board, and since the Chaofeng is destroyed, we get to trigger Chaofeng and this copy of, I've forgotten his name, where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's here. And this copy of Chiwen to special summon himself back, which means Chiwen special summons himself, and the Chaofeng can add a copy of Ash Blossom or Effect Veil or something to that liking. We could then use the BN to synchro with the Chiwen to go into a copy of Herald of the Arclight. So off of those 2 cards, Oviraptor and Baby Stegosaurus, we've got 1 negate, 2 negate, an Eclipse, a Hand Trap, another negate. So this is 5 pieces of interruption, and plus a light floodgate. So 6 pieces of interruption just off those 2 cards, which ain't too bad. And I guess Herald of the Arclight is kind of a 7th interruption because it's also just macro sometimes. This third combo is going to be Lost World plus Soul Eating Oviraptor. So we're going to start by activating our Lost World, then normal summoning our Ovi, triggering them in Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 formation, and then giving our opponent the token and adding a copy of Miscellaneousaurus. From here, we're going to discard this Miscellaneousaurus and then use the Oviraptor effect to destroy the token to bring back the Miscellaneousaurus, but use the Lost World to protect the token, destroying a baby in deck instead. So this allows us to destroy a baby in deck, and then the Baby Stegosaurus is going to trigger to special summon another copy of Baby Stegosaurus. From here, we can use the Miscellaneousaurus in our graveyard, banishing himself to special summon a copy of Archosaur, and Archosaur can trigger to pop the baby which is on the field, adding a copy of Double Evolution Pill in the process, which will of course trigger our Baby Stegosaurus to special summon a level 4 or lower dinosaur, so we can special summon Scrap Raptor. And from here, we can use Scrap Raptor and Archosaur to go into a copy of Denglong. Denglong can add our Counter Trap from deck to hand, and then we can use the Oviraptor and the Denglong to go into a copy of Chaofeng. Use the Denglong to special summon our copy of Chiwen. It's worth noting here that this is a 9, this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a non-tuner. You could hypothetically just go for a Baron right now if you really wanted to, but your 9 Pillars would be dead, so I wouldn't recommend it. But it is something that you could consider using, because you could also use Double Evolution Pill to banish the Ovi, and then go make the Bestial synchro instead, special summon back the Ovi, and maybe you could do something from there. Something to consider, but I think this board's just better. So from here, we summon the Chiwen, we then use Double Evolution Pill, banishing the Denglong and the Oviraptor to summon the UCT and set the 9 Pillars of the Zing. So we have quite a similar board, just without the Lagia. But yeah, it's just a little bit weaker, but we're still ending on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions-ish. Which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things. Going on to the 4th combo. This one is going to be Baby Stegosaurus plus Ground Zeno. So no Oviraptor in this combo. So we're going to start by activating Ground Zeno and adding a copy of Scrap Raptor from our deck to our hand. This is going to allow us to pop our Baby Stegosaurus and trigger it to special summon a copy of Oviraptor from the deck. He wasn't not here for long. Oviraptor is going to add the Miscellaneousaurus from deck to hand, and then we're going to use the Miscellaneousaurus to banish himself and the Baby Stegosaurus to special summon a copy of Baby from the deck. We can then normal summon our copy of Scrap Raptor and pop the Baby Stegosaurus, which of course is going to trigger the baby to special summon another copy of Baby. We do this so our Oviraptor can pop the baby to special summon back a baby in the next chain, and Baby Stegosaurus is going to trigger to summon the Archosaur, which of course on summon can then trigger to pop that Baby Stegosaurus and add Double Evolution Pill, which of course will trigger our Baby Stegosaurus to summon a copy of Giant Rex. So we'll go through all 3 babies pretty much immediately. From here, you can probably see what we've got to do. We're going to go with a Scrap Raptor and the Archosaur into a copy of Denglong, and use the Denglong's effect to add a copy of 9 Pillars of the Zing. From here, we'll use the Giant Rex and the Denglong to go into Chao Feng, like we have so many times before, and trigger the Denglong to special summon Chi-Wen from the deck. We can then use Double Evolution Pill, banishing the Giant Rex and the Denglong to summon the UCT, and bring the Giant Rex back from the Banish Zone to the Monster Zone, which will of course allow us to summon a copy of Lagia. And from here, we can set our 9 pillars of the Zing, and we have the exact same board that we would have had if we started with Soul Eating Oviraptor and Baby Cerosaurus. So this combo shows that Ground Zeno, when combined with Baby, is essentially the same thing as just opening up Ovi. I mean, of course it is, because the Baby always gets to do Ovi. But the deck is a lot more consistent when you understand that Grand Zeno is basically as good as Soul Eating Oviraptor, which is really cool. But this is the exact same board as Ovi and Baby. The final combo I'm going to show you today is just Archosaur plus Baby. So we're going to start by normal summoning our Archosaur. We're going to pop the Baby Cerosaurus, add a copy of Double Evolution Pill, and then we're going to use the Baby Cerosaurus effect to special summon an Oviraptor from the deck. From here, we can use Oviraptor's effect to add a copy of Miscellaneous Saurus, and use the Miscellaneous Saurus's effect in hand and in the Banish Zone to special summon a copy of Baby. From here, we can link off our Archosaur to go into a copy of Linkuriboh. This allows us to use our Oviraptor to pop the Baby to summon the Archosaur, which of course allows us to trigger the Baby Cerosaurus to special summon a copy of Scrapraptor. From here, we can use not use Scrapraptor's effect. We're going to synchro off for the Scrapraptor to summon a copy of Denglong, and we are going to search for a copy of 9 Pillars of the Zing. You know what comes next. We're going to make a copy of Chao Feng, and we are going to trigger the Denglong to special summon a copy of Chi-Wen from the deck. We can then use Double Evolution Pill, banishing the Oviraptor and the Denglong to special summon a copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and set our copy of 9 Pillars of Zing. So this is one of the weaker boards. It's basically the same as the board with Lost World and Oviraptor, if I'm not mistaken, but we get to have a Linkuriboh on the board to protect our Chi-Wen, which is kind of okay, I guess. I guess if our opponent was to go to battle phase just to punch over Chi-Wen, we'd kind of just laugh at them because it doesn't really do anything. But we can protect our things with Linkuriboh, which isn't awful. Yeah, anyway, that is all the combos I have to show you for this deck today. I'm sure there are more involved combos you could possibly do. These are the bare bone ones I came up with last night when I should have been studying for my group theory exam, which was definitely an exam I did today. Yeah, this is the list. Sorry I haven't uploaded many videos recently. My girlfriend decided to take her Mac into the bath with her, which did not end well for me or her, but I'm sat here on a new lovely gaming PC, which I'll be doing the rest of my content going forward on. So if you did enjoy the video and you want to see more stuff like this, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm sure I will produce some more content like this for other cards that came off the list recently. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later.